Welcome back to Coin Mojo. I'd like to take you on a 2-year dime hunt and book fill adventure. When you do as much hunting as I do, you start to accumulate a lot of coins that just get rolled up or tubed up, and then you kind of keep on trucking. And then sometimes you have to go back and do an assessment, evaluate, clean up, and prepare. So I use Numista and PCGS to do some research online, and then those images are from both those services. You can pause the video and look at the detailed information at any time. So today I'm going to go and search all of my dimes that I've gathered over the last 2 years, open my books and see what's missing, try to fill the holes. These 2 rolls were picked up in a recent collection buy. So over the years, I have bought other people's collections, smaller collections, friends of mine, people from work, and the books are sometimes partially filled. I keep the best books. I get rid of the old ones or the ones that are tattered. And this is what I have up to date. So I opened up all those coin tubes and rolls, and then I laid them all out by decades, starting with the 60s there. These are the 50s, the 40s, pre-Roosevelts, oddball, Canadian, foreign coins, and those are my empty tubes, as you can see, all laid out here. And then we're going to look at these 2 rolls here that I just purchased last week that contain Roosevelts and Mercurys, but they're not in great condition. They're basically considered junk silver or melt. So here's a little bit of the Canadian coins that I've got. The images I'm showing here are from Numista. It shows a George V. It is 92% silver. So then in 1967, Canada produced a memorial dime, and it's also a transition year. It went from 80% silver to 50% silver. All right, so then I laid out all of the silver dimes that I had from Canada. These are mostly from the 60s. Again, 1966, 67, or 67 was the transition year. So they had 50% silver for another year. 68, so partial, not another year, but a partial year of 68. So some of the 68s actually have silver in them, or 50% silver. And there's just another view looking at the obverse of these coins. And then we come to this Greek coin. So 1962 Greek 50 lepta does not have any silver in it. It is copper nickel. The images and the information is shared from Numista. All right, so on to the Mercury dimes. That one happens to be a barber. I did find Mercury dimes in the wild, and here's a little bit of information on the barber dime. These particular Mercury dimes were found in the wild through coin roll hunting. I did accumulate a couple, I would say a dozen or so. And then I have another batch of Mercury dimes that I purchased this last week in a coin collection. But you do find some decent Mercury dimes sometimes in the wild, like that one right there, the 1944, had lots of detail. That 45 also had a lot of detail. So I'm sharing an image from PCGS, MS65, a 1916D, the most valuable Mercury dime. One of the things that we look for in grading a Mercury dime are the bands wrapped around the sticks, which kind of form a hatchet, and those are key elements of grading for the Mercury dime. If you do not see any separation in the bands wrapped around the sticks, the separation gives it a EF40 grade, and then from there on up, that is about the grade you want to see on your Mercury dimes. All right, now looking at the rosies, hard to believe that this 46S is graded MS68. Some people like the rainbow toning. I do have a nice 1946 in this group. So we start out looking at the 46s, the 47s. This is the first years of the Roosevelt dime. Got some 48s here, some in pretty decent shape. And all these, again, were found in the wild. These were all picked up coin roll hunting over the last 2 years. And then just kind of, socked away for prosperity or for a day like today. It's always nice to find silver in the wild, especially a 49 like that. All right, let's crack into these 2 rolls and find out what I picked up this week in the small collection buy that I made. I have laid these out. Roosevelt's at the bottom, Mercury's on the top, and we'll take a look at these a little bit closer. So all of these dimes were pulled from books that had water damage or just aged. The books were probably circa 1964. As you can see, the dimes here are all tarnished. So this was a a collection that belonged to a friend of mine's father or his wife's father. And so I gave him close to melt value because I was hoping to fill holes in my books, which is what we're doing today. And the rest will just be sold off as melt value. So now we're looking at the Mercury dimes. And again, same situation, lots of tarnish. But the good thing is, since they were all booked up, and he had like multiple books. He had like 2 or 3 copies of Roosevelt and Mercury dime books. And so I have duplicates of some of these coins, but they're nice runs. And I'm hoping that will definitely fill out my books a little bit better. And in the end, I make a little cheat sheet. The dates, those are 1900s, 16, 17, 18, 19, possibly. And even some of these 20s through here are unreadable. So this is a little sheet that I put together listing all of the missing coins in all 3 of my books, the Mercury book 1 and 2 and the Roosevelt book 1. 1916 here. It doesn't appear to have a Denver Mint mark on the back. 3 1970s, so 17s, I think they're all Philadelphia. So I think I got a couple hole fillers with these. I will come back when I figure out whether or not these can fill some slots. But this entire collection, it appears, now that I think about it, that it may have been in a fire. I can't imagine these tarnishing this much without fire damage. But, you know, when you flip these over, you know, even the backs are dark. But every one of these has tarnishing on them, really bad. And so it's hard to say how they got in this way, but none of them are in very good shape. So I'll still use them as fillers and then cash the rest in at the next coin show. All right, so after going through all of my dimes that I've accumulated over the last 2 years coin roll hunting and through the recent collection that I purchased this week, I've made some upgrades that I'm going to do. I've filled a hole, and some more upgrades, another hole filler, more upgrades, and a hole filler. This entire page practically, and from the 60s, is being upgraded. So that is my Roosevelt book, and I am still going to have 5 holes in it. Next. All right, and now the Rosie book is only 4 coins short of being full. We are missing the 50S, 55, 55, and 55, all 3 55s. So really, 1 year, 2 years, but odd that all the 1955 dimes are missing. So looking at the red book, the 1955 has a low mintage year for all 3 mints. 12 million, 13 million, 18 million. Lower than pretty much every year in the series. Yet, it has 0 impact on the value. I wonder why that is. So it's 3, 5, and 8 in MS, 63, 5, and 8 for 63, 65, and 40 is only $3. Yet, the mintages are literally half of the lowest in the series, and therefore unexplainable. All right, so after going through all those Mercury dimes, and I've just simply laid out my books, and I started placing the coins next to the empty slots, or sometimes just over top of the existing ones, and we will go through and fill the slots, or replace or upgrade some of the others. As you can see, 1916, 17S, 20D, 20S, possible upgrade for the 25, and then the ones that I remove from here will then be compared against the ones that I've slotted out here. So I'll do this methodically. This is my book 1, best of, and this is my overflow. So hopefully overflow from this book will fill empty slots up there. So we shall see. All right, see you on the rebound. All right, so after pushing and comparing, I filled a couple slots in book number 1, and then book number 2 is now going to get a few more slots filled as a result of pulling duplicates out of this book, pushing them forward onto the second book. And I've got like choices of 3 coins in many of these options, and so but some of these are definitely, you know, filling in lots. Is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's at least 7 holes, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 holes going to be filled in that book. But I'm down to 25 in this book. So this page is almost full. I only need the 38D here. So that book is done for today. And she lives to fight another day. All right, so Mercury Book 2 fill. And we're down to 44 empty slots. Third page almost full. Partially full. Semi-full. 44 slots on 20 coins short of matching the other book. But I think we did put a dent in it today. All right, now that we've stuffed the books, sorted the coins, saved the older stuff, rolled up the more current modern stuff to be sold, I've got 5 solid rolls of silver to sell off. That should fund the filling of these holes if I should so decide to invest in fillers. I don't plan on doing much more dime hunting. I'm kind of focusing on dollar bills, star notes, and that fancy serial numbers lately. It's so much easier than carrying around heavy bags of coin and dealing with the returns. Okay, as a final wrap-up, I've determined that I have 25 dimes missing from Mercury Dime Book 1, 41 missing from Mercury Dime Book 2, and 4 missing from the Roosevelt book. That is 41 of 77 total on Book 2, 25 of 77 on Book 1, and 4 of 48. So the total to fill all these books would have been 202 coins. I have 132 filled and 70 to go. At $1.66, today's melt silver price per dime, that's $219 melt value. The 5 rolls that I'm going to cash at melt value would be $415 minimum. 250 dimes at $1.66 piece, that's $415. All right, I hope you enjoyed this video. Well, it was quite the task for me, but something that I've been meaning to do and get done. It's been 2 years accumulating dimes beyond what I had before in my books. So generally I just search and stash. Every now and then you got to go through and audit, clean up, and that's what I did for this particular video. So I got that done, and now I can move on to quarters. I got a quarter book fill to do next. So be looking for the quarter fill video coming up soon. Don't forget to hit that like button and hit the bell to get notifications every time I upload a video. And don't forget, I have the Coin Mojo's Coin Roll Hunting on Facebook. If you have photos you want to show or questions you want to ask here or there, go to Facebook and check me out. Also, I sell all of the coins I find in the wild, on JDK Collectibles, on eBay. One of eBay's most reputable dealers, consistently delivering outstanding customer service. Don't forget to comment and share. I'd like to hear from my viewers. Also, again, give me those 4 clicks. Like, subscribe, hit that bell. Hit that bell a second time to get notifications every time I upload a video. Thanks for coming to see my videos. I really appreciate your viewership, and I appreciate your comments, your likes, and your shares. Thanks again. Coin Mojo out.